Hello everybody, my name is Alicia and welcome to my channel. In today's video, y'all, we've got our wand, we've got a head wig, we have our Ravenclaw sweater, and we've also got our Kindle. We are reading Harry Potter 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. They are all free on Kindle Unlimited if you're in the States. And y'all, this whole series has just blown me away. I am in my mid-30s and I just started reading Harry Potter for the first time. I read books 1, 2, and 3 in January, February, and March of this year. Didn't read any Harry Potter in April. The month just got away from me. But now in May, happy May 2024, we are reading Harry Potter number 4. I cannot wait to get into this. I love Harry Potter so much. Who knew I would be such a Harry Potter fan like my husband? He's read all the books. He's seen all the movies multiple times. And every time I'm done reading one of the books, we watch the movie together. So I cannot wait to also watch this movie. He asked me all last month, every other day, have you read Harry Potter? When are you going to read the 4th one? When are you reading the Goblet of Fire? Well, here we are. We're finally getting into it. This book came out almost 24 years ago. It came out in July of 2000. And it has between a 4.6 and a 4.8 star rating across Amazon and Goodreads. And it has over 3.8 million reviews. Also, this random fact popped up on Google when I was looking this book up, but it said that I guess the opening weekend that this book came out in the year 2000, the publisher had only printed, I say only, but the publisher had printed 3.8 million copies. I guess thinking that that would be enough. Well, the book sold over 3 million copies in the first weekend. So I don't even know how many copies it sold altogether, and people are still reading these books 20 plus years later, like me. But again, free on KU if you're in the States. So this one it's the 4th one. He's in his 4th year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and he's alongside his 2 friends, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. And this one, The Goblet of Fire, I was just reading the synopsis. So this one is about the Tri-Wizard Tournament. Apparently, you have to be at least 17 to enter. Harry is 14. But I guess he's just having all these dreams about being in the tournament and winning it. Well, I guess when Halloween time comes around, the Goblet of Fire, the cup, pulls out Harry's name. So somehow, some way, Harry then gets entered into this competition. And what did it say? It said he is going to be tested on his daring, his magical prowess, his powers of deduction, and his ability to cope with danger. And he's going to go up against some death-defying tasks, dark wizards, and dragons. This is just all from the synopsis. Also, it was a really short synopsis. At the very end, it said, with the help of his 2 friends, he might be able to stay alive. Okay. But this book is almost 800 pages long. Why is this book so long? 1st, 2nd, and 3rd were not that long. Apparently the longest one is book 7, which got broken up into 2 movies. But that's still a really long book. And I'm not a fast reader. I'm gonna try and read about 400 pages a day for the next 2 days, which is probably gonna be about 8 hours a day for the next 2 days, because again, I'm not the quickest reader. But let's just get into it. Does anybody else love short chapters? You just feel like you can read the book quicker. You get to the end of a chapter and you think, oh, well, that was fast. Let me just read one more. And then you end up reading, 8 more chapters right before you're supposed to go to bed. Well, this book is almost 800 pages long, as I've said, and there's only 37 chapters. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to play that game. Oh, just one more chapter, because every chapter is going to be so long. Okay, so the book starts off with chapter 1. It's about the Riddles. And if you know who Tom Riddle is, if you know, you know. I don't want to give a lot away, even for people who haven't read the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd book. I want them to be able to watch this video and not be spoiled by anything, but we'll see. We'll see if I can make that happen. So anyways, if you know who Tom Riddle is, the book starts off with the Riddle house, and it's Tom and his parents, and they were found dead. And everyone blamed the gardener, Frank Bryce. They blamed him because he lived in a cottage on the grounds that the main house was on, and he was the only one that had a key to get into that house. I mean, the only extra person that had a key to get in. So he was blamed heavily by the whole town. Like, they were very mean about it, but he was never convicted because the coroner couldn't really find a cause of death. They don't know how these 3 people were murdered. They didn't appear to be shot, stabbed, poisoned, nothing. The only conclusion that the coroner could come to was that they must have been frightened to death. Oh my gosh, do y'all remember Wormtail from book 3? He's here. He's here in this really weird scene. So Wormtail's back. Huh. Okay. Also, random side note, I didn't vlog the first and second Harry Potter books, but I did vlog the 3rd one. But anyways, Wormtail's here. Oh, okay. So Wormtail is with Lord Voldemort. And of course, Voldemort is talking about Harry Potter, like he always is. And he needs Wormtail to kidnap Harry Potter. I mean, if that hasn't been the subplot of every book so far. Okay. This is still a very strange scene. Y'all, this whole scene, Lord Voldemort has been talking about Wormtail needing to milk some creature so that Voldemort can gain some strength. And as gross as this sounds, I really thought he was needing Wormtail to milk a dog named Nagini, whatever. Well, it just came out that he needs Wormtail to milk Nagini the snake. I'm so disgusted right now. First of all, can you even milk a snake? But secondly, this is so nasty. That's so nasty. That whole scene, which was it was so strange, but we go into the 2nd chapter and Harry woke up with his scar hurting. So that whole weird scene that we were reading was all a dream by Harry Potter. So we haven't had any dreams yet of the Triwizard Tournament, but Harry woke up with his scar hurting really bad, which we know from previous books that means Lord Voldemort must be nearby. And it's summer break, so he's at home with his terrible aunt, uncle, and cousin. So he's in Britain in the Muggle world, but Lord V must be somewhere close. Dudley is Harry's horrible cousin. He's so mean to him. He is such a bully to Harry. So Dudley eats a lot. He has an atrocious diet. Well, I guess he no longer fits into his school uniforms, and the uniforms don't reach the size that Dudley is. So the school nurse has basically insisted to Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia that they put Dudley on a diet. And it says right here, Dudley had reached roughly the size and weight of a young killer whale. And so they took out all the fizzy drinks, cakes, chocolate bars, burgers, just everything that they had in their fridge and everything that they would feed Dudley. And they were just feeding him fruits, vegetables, and what Uncle Vernon would call rabbit food. But Harry is so skinny. He's so tiny. But Aunt Petunia insisted that the whole family go on this diet together. She's basically starving them. Because right now it's breakfast time. I had to go back on the Kindle. Let me go forward a little bit. But it's breakfast time, and she's literally taken a whole grapefruit and split it into quarters, and she's giving everybody a quarter. And Uncle Vernon just looks at it and says, is that it? That's it? But Harry let Hermione and Ron know about this awful diet, and so all of the little magical owls brought him all sorts of cakes and treats, and he's been keeping them under the floorboard in his room all summer so that he doesn't starve. But oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a break right now because I have been reading for so long. I did not take a break yet. I wanted to keep reading. I wanted to finish that chapter, but then it led into what was going on at the end into the next chapter. So I had to continue. So Harry gets invited by the whole Weasley family to go to the Quidditch World Cup, which I guess is similar to the World Series of baseball. Like, it's the very last game, or like the Super Bowl in football. So it's the Quidditch World Cup, you know, the game that they play on broomsticks. And, you know, he's asking his aunt and uncle if he can go, and they don't want to do anything that would make Harry happy. But at the same time, they are so terrified that Harry knows certain people that could put spells on them, and which is against regulations in the magical world, but his parents don't know that, but his aunt and uncle don't know that. And so they're going back and forth. But the good thing for them would be if they let Harry go to the Quidditch World Cup, then he would get to leave their house 2 weeks early, because he would go with the Weasleys and then just stay with them for the next couple weeks until school starts. So it would be a whole other year before they have to see him again. So they finally agreed. They're like, yeah, okay, you can go to the World Cup. You can go stay with the Weasleys for the rest of the summer, you know, for the last couple weeks. Well, the entire family, they all show up via flu powder, which, if y'all remember, that's how they travel from fireplace to fireplace. So they're trying to get into the Dursleys' house through their fireplace, which they have a fireplace, but it's all blocked up because they've turned it electric. And so also, why? I don't know why they're trying to do this when this is not a magical family. They don't know what flu powder is. But anyways, they basically destroy the living room and the fireplace trying to get in. Just there's smoke everywhere. Everything's broken, just powder, dust. And the twins are yelling at each other, you know, Fred and George. And, you know, they're there to collect Harry through, like, back through the fireplace. And that whole scene, it was a whole thing. Well, the twins are known as jokesters throughout all the books, and I guess they had all these candies in their pockets and they fell out of their pockets. Well, who is on the ground trying to collect all the candy because he's the size of a killer whale, a small killer whale? Dudley. So Dudley starts putting all these candies in his mouth. Well, sure enough, I guess these were trick candies, and they turn his tongue purple and slimy and long. And while they're in the living room, it's already 1 foot long. And Mr. Weasley is just telling the twins, get out of here, you know, go back up through the fireplace. And then he sends Harry on his way, so Harry doesn't know what's going on. And then the chapter ends. So of course I had to read the next chapter. So in the next chapter, Mr. Weasley gets home through his fireplace, and he's just yelling at the twins in the kitchen and saying, you dropped those candies on purpose. And George said, well, how big did his tongue get? And then Mr. Weasley says, it was 4 feet long before his parents would let me shrink it. Because that was the other thing in the living room. They wouldn't let Mr. Weasley get his wand out because they're just so terrified of magic. But I guess he finally had to get it out after Dudley's tongue got to be 4 feet long. Oh my gosh, the twins are so ridiculous. And he just kept saying, it's not funny, wait till your mom finds out. And the twins are just saying they did it because they know Dudley is such a bully. But they crack me up. Apparently, because I kept reading in the chapter, apparently they want to open up, like, I guess maybe like a mobile joke store. I don't know. They have all these forms that you can fill out so you can tell them what you want to order. And Mrs. Weasley confiscated all those. She got rid of them. But I guess they are selling like fake ones and like trick treats, or what did it say? Trick sweets. They're just all these little jokes, and they plan on selling all these little jokester pieces at Hogwarts in the upcoming year. But they had told Mr. Weasley that they had been looking for someone to test out that tongue toffee on all summer, and they didn't know who they could get that would want to try it. And so of course, when I guess Mr. Weasley said that we're gonna go collect Harry via flu powder, we're going to the Dursleys' house, the twins thought Dudley will be the one that we do this to. I'm in my kitchen. I'm making some hot, I was gonna say I'm making some hot tea. I've got water on the kettle, making it hot so I can make some hot tea, some chai, and I'm waiting for my oven to preheat. So we met a new owl. So we know Hedwig, obviously. We know Harry's owl, Hedwig, and then we know Errol. I guess Errol she's the Weasley's owl. Well, she's very old. Oh, okay, there's my water for my hot tea. But I guess they got another owl and they call her Pig. Her name is Pigwidgeon and they refer to her as Pig, and she just sounds so cute. She's just little and running around. She's like a tennis ball with a bunch of feathers on her, and I love her. We've read about her twice now. And then remember Crookshanks, Hermione's orange ginger cat with the smushed face and the fluffy tail? I love him too. They're all at the Weasley's house, and Hermione brought her cat, and he's in their front yard chasing their lawn gnomes. And remember, their lawn gnomes are alive. They're magical. I'm just bringing up stuff from other books. I really hope all of this is in the movie, but she says Crookshanks is out in the garden. He is chasing lawn gnomes. He's never seen any before, and I'm just envisioning that. They've made it to the World Cup. And I just got so excited because I thought Harry saw Dobby. Remember Dobby, the house elf? But it wasn't Dobby. It's another house elf. And her name is Winky. And Winky is so cute. Oh my gosh. I'm going to need to look up some fan fiction of Winky because she sounds absolutely precious, and she's sitting at the very top box, and I guess she's really afraid of heights, and so she keeps covering her eyes, and she's just so precious. And she says to Harry, "Oh, did you say Dobby? I know Dobby." And then she introduces herself, says her name is Winky, and says, who she's the house elf for, and says who her master is. And I forgot that there's multiple house elves, that there's a lot of house elves that I guess if you're really rich, you hire them, and I guess they, I don't know, do all your bidding around your house. But Winky, oh my gosh. Well, I hope Dobby is in this book. Who are the Vila? The Vila have all the men memorized. It just says right here that Vila were women, the most beautiful women Harry had ever seen. Except that they weren't. They couldn't be human. This puzzled Harry for a moment. And then it just goes on and on about what they look like and how Harry just stopped worrying about anything at all because he was so mesmerized by the Vila. And Hermione was getting so annoyed. They start dancing and just everyone is losing their minds over the Vila. Who are they? I don't want to say that the Vila are sore losers. They are the mascot to one of the teams, to Bulgaria, and then the Irish team, their mascot is the Leprechauns. But throughout this whole Quidditch World Cup match, which is against, Bulgaria and Ireland, the Vila, it used the word sulky. They were being sulky. And then it used the word mutinous. Okay. And now they're throwing handfuls of fire at the Leprechauns. Okay, so they also, in that last clip, I said that they were mesmerized. The men are mesmerized by the Vila, but also they're really scary if you make them mad. All right, we're still at the Quidditch World Cup, and everyone is screaming, and Harry looks up into the sky, and there is the appearance of a skull, and it's illuminating the sky and the woods where they're standing. And everyone's losing it, and Harry doesn't understand why. And Hermione says, "It's the dark mark, Harry. It's the sign of you-know-who." But Harry's scar isn't hurting. So is Lord Voldemort nearby? Is he at the Quidditch World Cup? I love Mrs. Weasley. Okay, I know she's having a tough morning. Okay, there's a lot going on right now, but she's in the kitchen, and again, this is early in the morning. She's drinking her hot tea, and that Mr. Weasley hands her, and she goes and pours a shot of whiskey into it. You go, Mrs. Weasley, you go. Did we know that there was a ghoul that lives in the Weasleys' attic? Did we know that from other books, that there's a ghost? I know there's ghosts at Hogwarts, But right here, it says that the rain, I guess it's raining at the Weasleys, it's very loud. And it says the rain was accompanied by loud whistlings and moans from the wind, not to mention sporadic howls from the ghoul who lived in the attic. I want some more backstory on this. They made it to Hogwarts. Everyone has made it from the Hogwarts Express. And as soon as they get into the school, all these water balloons start dropping from the ceiling and exploding on everyone's heads. And everyone's screaming and yelling. Ron is one of the ones that gets hit. And then Professor McGonagall appears and she just starts screaming, Peeves! Peeves, stop it! Remember Peeves, the poltergeist? He's always up to something. He's one of my favorite ghosts besides Moaning Myrtle. We have made it to the Triwizard Tournament. We're 25% into the book, and Dumbledore is telling everyone at Hogwarts on their first day there, at their feast, that there's not going to be any sort of inter-house Quidditch World Cup this year. And, Harry plays for the Gryffindors. He's their seeker. There's not going to be any of that this year because Hogwarts is hosting the Triwizard Tournament. And I guess this was established 700 years ago. How did it phrase it? The Triwizard Tournament was first established some 700 years ago. It's a friendly competition between the 3 largest European schools of wizardry, which I didn't even realize there were other schools. So there's Hogwarts, Beauxbatons, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, and then Durmstrang. So it's a friendly competition between those 3, and I guess the schools used to take turns hosting the Triwizard Tournament every 5 years, but the death toll amount got so high that they had to discontinue it. The death toll. Okay, it says here that there have been several attempts over the centuries to reinstate the tournament, but Dumbledore has said that over the summer, I guess this was worked on for the whole 8 weeks or however long their summer break is, and he's swearing up and down that no witch or wizard is going to be in any sort of mortal danger. And between the 3 schools, there will be 1 champion from each school. They're considered a champion, even though they haven't won yet. So there will be a champion from each school, and those 3 people will compete in these tasks to become the one ultimate champion. Okay, it says right here that Dumbledore is instating an age limit. I guess in the past there never was an age limit, but I guess this Triwizard Tournament is extremely dangerous. So you have to be at least 17 to enter. Remember, Harry and his friends are 14. Also, Harry's had no dreams about the Triwizard Tournament, even though the synopsis said he's dreaming about it. But anyways, Dumbledore said that this is a measure that we feel is necessary, and then he says that the tasks will be too difficult and dangerous, and anyone below a 6th year probably wouldn't even be able to handle what they're about to come up against. How did it say it? It's a measure we feel necessary. It is highly unlikely that students below 6th and 7th year will be able to cope with the tasks given. So love that. But the twins, Fred and George Weasley, Ron's brothers, are not happy about this because I guess at the moment it's September. The selection from the Goblet of Fire is going to take place in October on Halloween, but the twins turn 17 the following April. So they're 16 and a half right now, and they just keep saying that this isn't fair because they want to join the competition. And I'm sure that's going to be something going forward. I'm sure we're going to read a scene about them trying to join because they're the jokesters of the book. Also, you'll see that the lighting in the house has changed. It goes to this dimmer, moodier, purpley color every day at 4 p.m. I seriously hate Malfoy. I cannot stand Draco Malfoy, and of course he's bullying everybody yet again like he does, but the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, that's also been a reoccurring theme in all of these books. We're on the 4th book and we're on the 4th teacher. They call him Mad-Eye Moody. Mad-Eye Moody has just turned Draco into a ferret. And he's a ferret for a hot minute until McGonagall shows up and says, we do not use transfiguration on students. But then everyone walks away and Ron, Hermione, and Harry go to sit down at a table, and Ron says, "Don't talk to me." And Hermione says, "Why not?" And Ron says, "I want to fix that in my memory forever." That was such a funny scene. Oh my gosh, Draco being a ferret. Absolutely, absolutely. Hermione's being weird again. And we had a whole subplot with what Hermione was up to in the last book. And I think there's something going on in this book now. She keeps just scarfing down her food and running off to the library. And we don't know what for. And also, they don't have any homework. So what is she doing in the library? I need to know more about this subplot that we've got going on with her. Hey guys, okay, so it's the next morning and I'm actually about to leave. I have my 1 week follow-up appointment from my root canal that I had 7 days ago, but I read a little bit more last night, and Ron Weasley's older twin brothers, Fred and George, so like I said, they're 16. They won't be 17 until April, and right now it's almost Halloween. And they still want to enter the Triwizard Tournament, so they drank an aging potion that they concocted from these twins. They're just always up to something. I never know where they're getting half of the ideas that they come up with and where they're getting the ingredients to make these things happen, but remember, Dumbledore had put an age line around the Goblet of Fire, so if you are under 17, it'll know. So they take this aging potion to age themselves just a little bit. They are able to step over the age line, and they think, oh my gosh, we're in. We can put our names in the goblet. And then all of a sudden, they get shot out of the age line or out from the area where the goblet is, and then they start getting older and older as they're rolling around on the floor. Their hair gets white, they start growing beards, and then Dumbledore appears out of nowhere. And what did he say? I had to go back on my Kindle and find it. Oh, here it is. He said, "I did warn you. I suggest you both go up to Madame Pomfrey." She's the school nurse. And then he just starts naming off all the other students that also thought that they could get away with it by taking the aging potion. But then he gave them a compliment and he said, "Although I must say, neither of their beards look anything as fine as yours." Okay, I am about to walk out my door. As I'm backing up, I'm thinking, okay, what else can I tell y'all before I leave for the endontist appointment? So Hagrid has a crush on the headmaster from, I believe it's the French wizardry school, Madame Maxime, like Maxine, but with an M, Maxime. And the kids, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they've gone to his little his little cottage on the grounds, and they're talking to him, and they notice that he's dressed up, his hair is a little bit better, it's brushed, he's wearing cologne. And when they're done hanging out, they start to go back towards the castle, and Hagrid says, "Oh, I'm coming with you." And then Ron just yells out, he fancies her, and they're talking about Madame Maxime, and then he says, "I bet any babies of theirs would weigh about a ton," because she is Hagrid's size. She's huge. She's very tall. She's a big woman. Whatever her and Hagrid are, they're one and the same. And he has a crush on her, and it's so cute. Okay, one more thing, and then I really need to walk out the door, and I'm probably gonna take off my Ravenclaw scarf because it's so hot outside. It's just so humid and sticky. I just wanted to wear this. But at the end of chapter 16, Harry's name gets called. His name just flies out of the Goblet of Fire alongside the other 3 champions. So there's a champion already selected for Hogwarts, one for Durmstrang, and one for Beauxbatons. I think that's the name of the French school. But the 4th name to come out is Harry Potter. And so everyone is just thinking, what is going on? And that's starting in chapter 17 that everybody's kind of losing their minds. Okay, I have to go to my appointment, but I'll update y'all later. Okay, hello. I'm back from my endontist appointment. Oh my gosh. Y'all don't want to hear about this. It was the follow-up to my root canal, but they had to numb me again and do more, and it's been a couple of hours, and so the numbing is kind of wearing off. I went grocery shopping. that was painful. The numbing today was more painful than last week when they numbed me for the root canal. I cried. It hurt so bad, to the point that my right nostril and right cheek were stinging. Anyways, I'm still trying to update y'all on what I read last night, because I told y'all yesterday I wanted to get to at least 50% and then continue the other 50% today. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to finish the book today, but at the 40% mark. So Harry's name has come out. It came out of the Goblet of Fire, and no one understands why. They're all questioning him. They think he did something to make it happen, but then Hermione is the only one with some sense saying no. Dumbledore put the age line around the goblet. You could not go past that age line if you were under the age of 17. And then, if you used an aging potion, it didn't matter. You were still going to get caught. And Harry's dead set telling everyone, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know why my name is in the goblet. And they can't undo it. It's a magical binding contract. So now that all 4 of these champions have been selected, they are required by magical law to continue in the Triwizard Tournament. They have to complete all 3 tasks, and not necessarily, I guess, complete. They just have to go into all 3 tasks, and then whatever happens, happens. But even if something bad happens during the first task, you are still required to then go into the second or the third. You can't quit, is what I'm saying. And Harry's just a little 14-year-old boy, and everyone's being so mean to him. But right now, at the 40% mark, Mr. how do you say it? Ollivander. He is the one, and I'm looking down because I have a wand, and I got it from Ollivander's at Universal Studios in Japan. But he is doing the wand weighing, and what does it say? We have to check that your wands are fully functional, no problems, as they're the most important tools in the tasks ahead. Because all that you can use during these tasks is your wand. You can't bring anything else with you. But I just wanted to show y'all. I know y'all see my wand, but I wanted to show y'all the case. All right, my boy cat Audi wanted to join in. So Ollivanders, and then when you open it, the back of it says aspen and unicorn hair. So that's what my wand is made out of. Okay, I am aware that this is all fiction, but isn't this so cute? And then you even get the little map, because these wands, you can use them at Universal Studios. So Hogsmeade, so this side is the Japanese side, but then the other side of the map is in English, but it's got all of Universal Studios on it, the whole Harry Potter area. And I want to say there's, 15 different areas where you can go and use your wand. And it's, right there. You can see that. So there's areas where you can go, and it'll tell you how to hold your wand and what to do. And then doors will open, trunks will shake, and then they'll open. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it so much when I was there with my husband, and I love my wand. And then for my birthday back in March, I got this. Sorry, my hands are all beat up because I was bringing in all the bags from grocery shopping, but I'm trying to show y'all my bracelet that says Wingardium Leviosa, but that's from right here, the Wizarding, and please ignore the dust, but the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Okay, anyways, let me continue updating y'all so that we can start reading today. All right, I've put my wand away, and it's so chilly right now inside the house, so I've put my Harry Potter, my Ravenclaw scarf back on. Okay, so last night I had stopped at 47%. Actually, I'm gonna close this. I don't want y'all to see anything. So I had stopped at 47%. I was at, the first task was beginning. So I haven't read Harry going into the first task, but I know what it is. I was reading that part, and that's where I stopped last night because I was getting so tired. But in the notes in my phone for chapters 18, 19, and 20, oh my gosh, this book is so long, but I was reading, and what did I put in my notes? I was literally just reading that in my phone. The bullying. So Harry is getting bullied so hard by everybody at Hogwarts because they think he cheated to get into the Triwizard Tournament. And the other champion for Hogwarts, everyone is on his side. and wanting him to win and just making it very apparent and very known. And it's been a lot to read. And I asked my husband about this. I said, look, I don't want to keep reading about this bullying because it's getting out of control in my mind. Like, where are the teachers? And he just said, okay, after the first task, it's going to get better. People will, I don't know, I guess appreciate Harry more or something. Okay, so I said that about the bullying. And then, oh yeah, there's two characters, Mr. Crouch and Victor Crumb. And I don't want to say who they are, but can we trust them? If y'all have read this book, can I trust Mr. Crouch? And can I trust Mr. Crumb? That was my question there. So bullying, Crouch, Crumb. What was the other one? Oh, and then Harry had a visitor. He had a visitor at the castle, and it made my heart so happy, but I can't tell you who it was. Y'all just gotta read the book. But all right, so let's start today and see if we can finish this book, and at least just let's get through that first task and see what happens. I was holding my breath through that whole first task. Holy cow. How are even the 17-year-olds allowed to do this? Okay. I was not a fan of that first task. Oh my gosh, that was a little scary, but all right, let's see where we go. Hermione says it right here. She says, if that was the first task, I hate to think what's coming next. Yeah, I can see why they stopped doing this, why there was such an influx, this high rise of students dying, and why they stopped the tournament altogether. All right, this second task it's a mystery. I'm really excited. I want to see where this goes and how Harry figures it out. So there's a piece from task 1 that has been carried over into task 2, but you don't know what is happening with that piece. You don't know where it's going. You don't even know what the second task is. We don't even know that, but he's trying to figure that out, and everyone is just thinking, whatever, let's continue partying. They're all celebrating in the Gryffindor Tower, and the twins, Ron and George, have stolen a ton of food from the kitchen so that there can be, I don't know, food and drinks at this party, and they are so ridiculous. They're so ridiculous. But anyways, this is a mystery. Now we've kind of turned into a mystery book, trying to figure out what's going on with this second task. Also, they're all super spaced apart. So the Goblet of Fire, when they said everyone's names, that was on Halloween. And then when did the first task take place? When was that? I've read so much. I've read like 400 pages. Was that around Christmas? Maybe it was around Christmas, the first task. And now the second task is not taking place until the end of February. And then I don't know when the third one is taking place, but they're very, very spaced apart. We're 60% in, and I want to take a nap. Oh my gosh. There's a reporter for the Daily Prophet. Her name is Rita Skeeter, and she is vile. I might dislike her just as much as I dislike Snape. She's so terrible. She has written so many stories. You get to read all of these articles throughout the book, and they are just getting worse and worse. And Harry even made a comment saying, don't even bother talking to her. She's just going to twist your words. It's not even that she twists your words. She literally just makes up stuff, and now she's written a letter about Hagrid. I mean, everyone's had, an article. Everyone's had an article written about them by her, and it's so terrible. And Dumbledore is talking to Hagrid, and he's basically just having to talk him off the ledge. And Hagrid's still the teacher this year. He's still the Care of Magical Creatures teacher, and Dumbledore just tells him that I do not accept your resignation, because Hagrid's just really going through it because this horrible article came out about him. But that's where we are so far. Also, we've made no improvements for the second task. Harry was given a hint. There was a hint given to him by somebody, but he just keeps saying, oh, I have time, I have time. Sir, you are running out of time. My cat will literally lay on me the entire day. If I don't move, he won't move. Okay, we've had a moaning Myrtle sighting. Okay, normally she's in the girls' bathroom, but right now she is in the prefect boys' bathroom, and Harry's in there taking a bath. And Harry says, Myrtle, I'm not wearing anything. And she says, I closed my eyes when you got in. And then she goes, you haven't been to see me for ages. Oh my gosh. So is she stalking Harry? Why is she in the prefect bathroom? Okay. Harry was making me so mad during that second task. I don't want to say he was just trying to be a hero, but even Ron said it. I hope you didn't waste time down there acting the hero. And I can't even talk to y'all about it because I don't want to spoil anything, but he was frustrating me so much. I mean, I'm competitive, but I guess if you think bad things are going to happen, I don't know. I have to be so vague with y'all, but I guess he was thinking one way, which actually was not the case. Professor Dumbledore is not gonna let anybody get hurt. But then again, in past tournaments, people have died. So I guess that's where Harry's thought process was, and he was just trying to be the hero, and I'm competitive. Whatever. Okay. All right, we're done with the second task. Are Ron and Hermione going to get together? Because I know if y'all watched my Harry Potter vlog on the third book, that's all I kept talking about was I was so excited to start the fourth book because that's when Ron and Hermione get together. No, we're nowhere near that. We're at 68%, and all they've done is fight this whole time, and now another article has come out from Rita Skeeter. I mean, everybody has had an article written about them. It's terrible. But Ron and Hermione just keep arguing. And I'm just wondering, is J.K. Rowling, is she really playing up the enemies to lovers trope? I don't know, because they're friends. They're not enemies. I don't know. They've just been fighting this entire book. And now Snape is reading the article out loud to the class. He's so awful. I hate him. I hate Snape. I hate him so much. Dumbledore knows everything. Professor Dumbledore will never let you get away with anything, and he knows something that I didn't think that he would know. I'm just standing right here in my hallway. I'm at the 80% mark, and this book, it is dark and it is sad. I can't say much more than that. I know I'm getting to a point where I'm just gonna have to stop talking, but it's really dark and it's really sad right now. Stop it right now. Someone tell me that this is gonna be undone at the 84% mark. Did we really lose a person? Would anyone like some Mount Fuji sake? This is what I need right now. Have any of you ever read a book about cults? Because there's somebody talking and it's so cult-like. It's reminding me of a couple of Lisa Jewell books that I've read. It's this is very culty. No. We just had a twist. No, say it's not true. Oh my gosh, this book is gonna give me a heart attack. What I thought happened was it unhappened. Many pages later, we're still in the same chapter. Whoa. If anyone had any doubts about Hermione and just, I don't know, sometimes I think she's too nosy and too much of a busybody. I don't know, she's like frustrated me the first couple of books. This book, she's been pretty great. I've really liked her, but wow. This ending scene with her while they're on the train to go back home to start summer break, she just redeemed herself. I love her. Oh my gosh. I need to know what's going to happen with what I just read about Hermione and what she's doing. And this has nothing to do with, there was a Hermione subplot going on. I know I mentioned that yesterday, but oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so tired. Oh, but y'all, this is something else that she's done. And even Draco just said, very clever, Hermione Granger. Okay. We did it, y'all. We did it. We finished Harry Potter 4 and the Goblet of Fire. And we did it in 2 days. That was so good. That was so good. I just need to lay here. 5 stars. 5 stars. Oh my gosh. Okay. No notes. Wow. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for coming along on this journey with me. I'm going to read a romance book next. Okay. Bye, everybody.